All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the new Belgium Brewing Company, and they're out of both Fort Collins, Colorado, and Asheville, North Carolina, and this is their Voodoo Ranger Atomic Citrus. So they're calling this one a blood orange ale, and on the side of the can it says ale with a blood orange juice and natural flavors and spice. It comes in at 7% alcohol by volume, 10 IBUs at the time of review. This can is approximately 3 months old. So we have another Voodoo Ranger beer here, but I'm actually kind of excited about this one because it's not an IPA. The most recent Voodoo Ranger beers I reviewed, they were all IPAs with natural flavors. Their Danger Beach IPA, the 1985 IPA, the Juice Force IPA, and they were all kind of strange and weird. Like the juice kind of quality in those beers, you could tell it didn't come from the hops and it came from the natural flavors. This, however, they don't list as an IPA, it just says ale, and they're actually using blood orange juice and spice in addition to natural flavors. And I love blood orange, so I'm hoping this is better than the vast majority of the most recent Voodoo Ranger beers, at least for myself personally. I know a lot of people enjoy them. I'm just not one of them. So yeah, definitely blood orange juice. You can tell based on the color that it's not like super crazy like blood orange. Is, you know, it has a darker, almost like a red look to it. And I really enjoy like authentic blood oranges. And a lot of times when you see beers brewed with blood oranges, they don't have this kind of color. It's probably not gonna come off on cameras as much as it is in person, but definitely looks like they use blood orange juice. Maybe not a lot of it, but a decent amount. It has a really nice kind of hazy, I mean, I can see the shadow of my hand through the glass, but it has like a haziness to it. That head is fantastic. It looks so creamy, and it's like a bright white, but super creamy and luscious looking. Hold it up to the light. Yeah, it has like a darker orange, almost into like I don't know, I would just say more like a darker orange. Doesn't necessarily get to like red, you know, or like blood looking, but it has that kind of look to it to some degree. But it looks beautiful, decent carbonation, and it's in the hashtag proper glassware. Like I said, look, that head is just not going anywhere. I love it. Anyway, let's get a nose. Interesting. First thing that hit me was spice, and it has like this perfumey kind of like, yeah, it has like a perfumey kind of nose to it, honestly. What kind of spice is that? It's like heavy on maybe like a coriander. Now I'm starting to get more of the blood orange. And blood orange is definitely way different than a regular orange if you've never had one. It's kind of a unique experience. I'm getting it here. And maybe that's why like my nose took a little bit while to adjust to it, because it didn't smell like a regular orange, right? But yeah, super citrusy, perfumey. It has that spiciness. I'd say like a coriander, maybe a slight clove, something in that realm. Has maybe like an allspice. It has like a spiciness to it that's kind of different. Don't pick up on the 7%. It smells very citrus heavy, perfumey, and a little bit of that spice. Does it smell amazing? It does not. Does it smell pretty good? Yeah. Does it smell authentic to some degree? That perfumey kind of note could be coming from the natural flavors, but I'm definitely picking up on the blood orange itself, although it's a little bit like more of a generic citrus, and that spice is 100% there. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. That's nice. To me, that's nice, and it's because I can actually taste the blood orange juice. Like, blood orange is pretty distinct in a lot of regards, and I definitely taste it on the palate here, which is welcomed. It doesn't taste like a natural flavor and artificial flavor. It tastes authentic. The body on this one, at 7%, it's like medium body. It's fine, maybe a touch thin. Yeah, it's like maybe lower side of medium body. It's a touch thin, a bit thin. But I think it makes it a little bit more refreshing because it's not heavier body-wise. The mouthfeel, it's crisp, it's pretty clean, and it's a very refreshing beer in general. It has moderate carbonation, but it's so easy and smooth on the palate. Nice. The predominant note on the palate is that blood orange. You might not think it's like specifically blood orange, but it definitely has an orange feel to it, front to back, omnipresent for sure. In that, like the first half palate is like juicy and kind of sweet. As it passes through, the blood orange it just feels like a little bit more zesty and rindy and a little bit more bitter. Second half of the palate, or midway through to second half of the palate, I get this perfumey kind of like floral sensation. It's kind of different. And then it finishes with that spiciness, and I can't really tell what the spiciness is. It's kind of in that like coriander, clove, allspice kind of feel, or kind of range to it, right? Like almost like a Belgian wit beer, like coriander kind of note. But it's not exactly that. This finishes semi to full on dry with a mild bitterness. I'm not noticing a lot of hop character. Maybe the floral aspect is coming from the hops. But to me, this isn't all that bitter. It's definitely not like any of their IPAs. It's just a generic ale, they call it. And I like it. I like it. Is this going to be for everyone? It is not. I could see people picking this up and being like, nope. You got to like blood orange. You got to like orange in general. If you pick this beer up and you're like, I don't like orange, then that's on you, because this is a blood orange ale. They clearly state it. So if you pick it up and go, oh, I don't like it, well, you don't like blood oranges, you're probably not going to like this one. You see that a lot, especially with like on Untapped. We've had some conversations about Untapped, and for me, I just use it as a resource to see what my friends are drinking and to keep track of what I drink. But you'll get a lot of people on Untapped that they'll pick up like a 7% stout and go, this stout is too stouty. The fuck does that mean? What do you mean it's too much of what it's supposed to be? Or people will pick up, like this, they'll pick up a blood orange ale, they'll give it a 1 out of 5 and go, oh, it has too much blood orange. Like, what are we doing? Like, don't rate it if you don't like blood, like, I don't know. It's an Untapped rap, but I'm just saying, it's fucking crazy. It's just, I don't know, it's crazy to see people do that. So for me, I think you need to like blood orange. But even that being said, even if you like blood orange, I don't know if you'd like this one. That's why beer is subjective. We're all different. I enjoy this one. I like this better than the last 2 IPAs I've had from them in the Voodoo Ranger series. Even the Juice Force, which I gave like a 4 out of 5, I would probably knock it down to like a 3.5 now after, thinking it through and whatnot. That was just too much of one thing. This, to me, very refreshing. Pretty good. And I like it. I like it quite a bit. So, got to be honest, I'm going to give Voodoo Ranger Atomic Citrus from New Belgium, I'm going to give this a low 4 out of 5. I'm going to go 3.9 out of 5. I think this is pretty damn good. I think they hide the 7% well, too. Like, I don't feel it in the chest. I feel no warming at all or anything. And, it is what it is. But like, if you like blood oranges, give this one a go, especially if you can buy a single. Price point availability in my neck of the woods, Buffalo, New York. This was $11.99 6-pack, so $2 a can, not too bad. I think I paid like $2.09 or like $2.19 for that can, so that's fine. And availability, I have no idea with any pretty much brewery anymore, because distro is just a weird thing, especially here in the U.S. But if you get New Belgium, I'd assume you'll probably see this or already have seen this around. If you get most of their Voodoo Ranger lineup, like the Juice Force and the Fruit Force and whatnot, you should see this one. And if you like those beers, give this one a go. You might not like it. You might like it. I don't know. So if you've had this one before, post a comment section. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few of you that didn't dig on this one, and then others who enjoyed it. At the end of the day, I got to go with how my palate feels about this one, and I feel this is pretty good, and I wish more of the Voodoo Ranger beers came off a little bit more. I'm not saying this is like 100% authentic and everything, but I do taste the blood orange juice. It feels more authentic, and it doesn't have as much as that natural flavor as the other Voodoo Rangers do, and that's what I prefer. So appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.